This might be a bit of a controversial list. Welcome back, everybody. So, Batman movies ranked. Now, I am including Batman vs Superman into this list, but not the Justice League. The reason for that is we got to see quite a fair bit of Ben Affleck as Batman, and for other reasons which will come apparent later on in the video. I'm also excluding animated movies. That is a list for another day. Also, please remember, this is just my own personal opinions. I'm not trying to force this is gospel, okay? But I get enjoyment factor from all the mainstream Batman movies that have been released. So let's get into this list. Number 9 is Batman and Robin 1997 with George Clooney, Chris O'Donnell, Uma Thurman, Arnie Schwarzenegger, plus many others. Yes, this movie has got a lot of problems. Alright, I'm not going to lie to you. There's some pretty bad acting with some pretty crappy one-liners from Arnie. George Clooney is not the best Batman, but a reasonably decent George Clooney. The reason why it's number 9, and I do not hate this movie in any way, shape, or form, okay, is I was a teenager when I went to see this movie, and all I wanted at that point was to see another Batman movie. I got to the end of the movie and I found some sort of enjoyment from this movie, and hence the reason why this is number 9. I do not hate it. I do not hate it at all, okay? It's a pretty bad movie, but it's almost borderline so bad it's good. So, number 8, Batman Forever with Val Kilmer, Nicole Kidman, Tommy Lee Jones, Jim Carrey. I generally do get quite a fair bit of enjoyment from this movie, but they did fail to capitalise on the villains in this. Okay, that was one of the biggest flaws of this movie, and also they kind of started to sway away from the darker tones that we got from Batman and Batman Returns, which, okay, wasn't a massive problem in '95 when this came out, because again, I went to the cinema to see it, I got entertainment value. But Val Kilmer as Bruce Wayne and Batman, I generally did enjoy his performance. I wasn't 100% keen on Chris O'Donnell and introduction into these movies in any way, shape or form. It just felt a really off and out character in certain ways. But like I said, I still got enjoyment or entertainment factor from this movie. So, number 7. Batman and Robin 1966 with Adam West, Burt Ward. In a nutshell, this is some campy, cheesy fun which will always entertain me in every single way. Now this is the point where people might start disagreeing with my list. So, number 6, The Dark Knight Rises. So this is the third installment in the Christopher Nolan trilogy. This stars Christian Bale, Tom Hardy, Anne Hathaway, plus many others. And I'm not going to lie to you, it is an absolutely fantastic movie with an absolutely brilliant villain, as in Bane, played by Tom Hardy. Very intimidating, very enjoyable to watch on screen. I think his performance is absolutely fantastic. We get to see a little bit less of Batman in this movie, but a bit more of Bruce Wayne, which is actually kind of a nice subtle touch. But also, I think they kind of lost the level or the balance between that, because essentially you are watching a Batman movie, so you want to see as much of him as you possibly can. But when he is on screen, especially towards the end of the movie, he has a bit more of a dominant kind of feel. We get to see his struggle throughout the whole of this movie. In other words, him being beaten badly and then having to rise from that. The downside of this movie is it had a massive mountain to climb after the release of The Dark Knight. Okay, so The Dark Knight is an absolutely fantastic movie. There is absolutely no disputing that in any way, shape or form. But to try and follow a movie on from a movie which was that successful was always going to be a bit of a struggle. Now, I still get quite a lot of entertainment from this movie. It's my least favourite in the trilogy, okay, but it's still an entertaining watch, which just provides me with a lot of fun. It's a good movie. It's just that it had a massive mountain to climb after the release of The Dark Knight, and it's as simple as that. Number 5, Batman vs Superman. So I must be in the small majority of people that actually generally likes this movie. I admit the director's cut is actually better than the theatrical cut. It does actually explain a lot, but the biggest draw for me for this movie is the fact we got a brand new Batman in the form of Ben Affleck as Bruce Wayne and Batman. And I generally like the darker, older, angrier, grittier kind of Bruce Wayne and Batman we got in this movie, to the point where it sparked my interest, to the point where I wanted to see a solo movie. And this is the reason why this movie got into the list, because it sparked my interest. I generally like this movie. I love Ben Affleck's performance in this movie. Yes, if you go into the Martha kind of route, name, whatever, you know, I've seen so much about it and still see it now. It's like trying to get over that kind of thing. Yes, it's a bit of a flaw, but the performance from Ben Affleck as Batman, for me personally, I think was absolutely fantastic, and it's something that I've craved in Batman movies for quite a while. Number 4. The Dark Knight. Now, here we go. This movie is absolutely fantastic in every single way. I've seen a lot of these ranking videos and they always put The Dark Knight at number 1. But just remember, this is all about personal enjoyment for me. I cannot dispute the fact that this movie is so well put together. It's one of the best superhero movies ever made, with an absolutely fantastic villain in the form of Heath Ledger playing one of the best versions of the Joker ever. Okay, I loved the style of this. We got Two-Face in this one as well, a lot more grittier, darker, angrier, which I absolutely love. The whole movie itself is an absolute masterpiece. I love the direction of where they were doing this. You also got to see Batman not being in control of the situation for the first time, which I absolutely love. There's nothing wrong with this movie in any way, shape or form, and I can quite happily sit down every single time and still get exactly the same amount of enjoyment as I got when I went to see this in the cinema on its opening day. So please don't hate me for it being at number 4, okay? It's just that there are other Batman movies which I enjoy just that little bit more. Number 3 is Batman Returns. Again, it's one of the first Batman movies that I ever watched, okay? It really is. And I love the darker, sadistical, sordid tones with this. It's got some great couple of villains, as in Danny DeVito as the Penguin and the amazing Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman, who is absolutely fantastic for the whole of that movie. It's as simple as that. There might be a little bit of a crusher. But as a whole, as a general, the dark tones that go in this movie from Tim Burton, I think work really, really well. Michael Keaton is an absolutely fantastic Bruce Wayne and Batman, in my personal opinion. Yes, he hasn't got the physical kind of physique, I'd say, like Christian Bale or Ben Affleck had, and they worked around that, and they worked around it well. I just generally will always love this movie, or always. Seriously, I've got a lot of love for this movie. I like it a lot. I can't stress how much I actually love this movie, and that is the reason why it's at number 3. So, before I reveal which Batman movie is at number 2, I cannot stress to you exactly how hard it was to make this decision of which one was going to be number 1. Okay, I've been thinking about this for about 3 weeks, to the point of an hour before filming this video, I actually changed my mind again. That is how marginal this is, okay? And number 2 is Batman Begins. Now, the reason why I've got a lot of love for this movie is it's the first in the Christopher Nolan trilogy, and we get an in-depth origin story to Bruce Wayne and Batman. You get to see him have to deal with watching his parents murdered in front of him through his young adult life, to the point of him becoming Batman. I think that first hour of that movie is absolutely fantastic, and then when we finally get to see Batman in this movie, again, brilliant in every single way. The fighting styles from him, the suit, the tumbler, just everything, or every single element, that realistic kind of elements in this movie, or these movies, that just make this so enjoyable. And if I was to watch any out of the Christopher Nolan trilogy first, it's going to be this movie. I love every single part of this movie, even the villain. Some people said that Liam Neeson was a little bit too serious in this movie. I said, well, no, not really, because he's running a very idealistic kind of terrorist group that wants to destroy Gotham. I think he nailed it in every single way. Number 1 is Batman 1989. Now, one of the reasons why this is number 1 in my list is because this is the movie that got me into the Batman character. This is the reason why half of my wardrobe is Batman t-shirts. This is where all the love for the Batman character come from, is from this movie. Okay, I remember watching the first 5 minutes of this movie when I was younger, and I was hooked in every single way. I think this movie is absolutely fantastic, with an absolutely fantastic portrayal of the Joker played by Jack Nicholson. Michael Keaton as Bruce Wayne and Batman is absolutely fantastic. Even his love element as in Kim Basinger. Yeah, she was pretty good. She's not a standout performance in this, but just the darker tones in this movie, the Gotham in this, the Batmobile, the suit, the gadgets, just everything. Everything about this movie, to me, is absolutely fantastic in every single way. I like the action sequences. There's so much I could talk about with this movie, but they are the main reasons why I love this movie. And I love this franchise. Okay, this is where it all comes from for me. So, there's my list of Batman movies ranked. Do you agree with my list, or do you have your own list? If you have, please put it in the comments down below as normal. I generally really enjoyed doing this video. It's taken me a bit of time to kind of record. It's going to take me a bit of a time to edit as well, but I generally got a real sense of enjoyment from doing this video, and I'll probably start doing more in the future. Maybe with the Superman movies, maybe with Marvel as well. I generally love Marvel as well, but I just really enjoyed doing this. It's taken me a long time to actually do this ranking video, and I actually got asked to do this. I wasn't actually going to do it because I've always been quite tight-lipped about my Batman ranking movies, because it does spark a little bit of a conversation every now and again. But the main thing is I hope everybody enjoyed the video. Hope everybody has a great rest of the day, whatever you're doing. Please take care, and goodbye.